Hey guys, I am David for Big Bits, and in this video we are going to take a look at a couple of things. Of course, right now you're looking at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum on the screen. This is Friday, February 19th, 2021, and the price of Bitcoin is at $55,000 and Ethereum is at $1,960. So pretty big day. We're breaking all-time highs on both Bitcoin and Ethereum, but what I want to do today is I want to go over a couple of different things that are really blowing up right now. And one of them is BNB, the Binance exchange token. It has its own chain now. It's being used for some sort of decentralized applications. Get into that in just a little bit. But the other thing is the NBA TopShot. It's a huge fad right now among crypto and also sports collectors. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll also come back around to some TA as well at the end of the video. So this isn't like my normal TradingView update videos. This is more like my normal videos that I used to do, where I would do these sort of updates on things that are going on in the kind of crypto area, as well as my TradingView updates. So just stick with me. I'm sure if you like the Pine Code videos, these will probably be just as good for you as well. And honestly, my favorite thing over the last year has been my Binance US account. I've been using it to do my dollar cost average into my own crypto savings, which obviously are doing quite well now. And you can see my referral account, which is one of the things I highlighted as the best thing about Binance US is its referral program. I thought it had the best referral program out of all the other US exchanges. You can see I've only referred 19 people. I don't push this really hard. It's only listed in the description of my videos. I don't talk about it a lot. The only video I talk about it is the video specifically about Coinbase and Binance US. But you can see there's been a few signups. I really appreciate those of you who did do that. That's pretty cool. If you've done that and you've helped me out, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying Binance US as much as I am. It's definitely much better than Coinbase in my opinion, as far as fees and also their sort of ethics when it comes to the blockchain. They are much more focused on the decentralized aspect and the sort of anonymity of being decentralized as opposed to Coinbase, at least from what I've seen. Anyway, the referral account here, you can see I got a $15 sign up at the very beginning, but right now you only get, and I believe this is still the same, 20% of the fees from all of the people you referred trades. So if they have a $100 trade, the fee is only $1. You get 20%, so you get 20 cents out of that $100 trade. So that's something to look at, and it really adds up. And you might not think it's a whole lot, but the reason I chose to do my referral specifically with Binance US is that my referral fees are getting paid back to me in Bitcoin, in BNB, some in USD. See, there's a few others here. Just any type of coin, whenever you're paying that as the fee, you get that back as the referral. And if I went to my balance, you'd see a bunch of dust in my wallet from fees from coins that I've never touched, and we've gotten very few referrals on it. But the reason I really like getting the referral in BNB is because I have a lot of faith in Binance, and I invest in their token anyway. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and pull up the BNB chart. This is going to blow your mind. Check this out. I have to hide my Bollinger Bands. It's gotten so ridiculous over the last few days. BNB. See, this is June of 2020. Was $15. $313 now. BNB is by far one of the best exchange tokens. I would go ahead and say it is the absolute best exchange token. It's used to pay fees. It gets burned regularly, which means it gets a certain portion cut out of existence, or maybe not existence, but cut out from the circulating supply so that it's no longer available to anyone. So it's really not much of a surprise that the price has jumped up a whole lot on BNB, but $300, I would have thought that would be the top of the cycle. Maybe BNB is just ahead of everything else, and it is kind of topping out right now, but the volume is ridiculous. Everybody's kind of getting behind BNB. People are building applications on the Binance Smart Chain, which hosts the BNB token. was originally built on Ethereum, but they switched over to their own network. They've built their own exchanges, and people have built their own stuff on top of the Binance Smart Chain as well. So there's a lot to like about Binance, although honestly, using the token and getting the referrals through the website on Binance US has been really great. Now, again, I'm American, so I'm not supposed to be doing the Binance.com, so I don't use Binance US. If you're also American, I definitely recommend it, and my referral is in the description of the video. Again, I don't push this a whole lot, but since we are talking about it, I wanted to let you know that it is down there in the description of the video. If you sign up, I really appreciate it. But mostly, just look at the price. That's insane. And I really think that it's going to do incredibly well over time. Let's go ahead and take a look at it versus Ethereum. This is the chart I was looking at on my own the other day. Look at this. Versus Ethereum, that's a very, very bullish chart. Take this out to the weekly, though. We are setting new all-time highs versus Ethereum. So if I wanted to trade my BNB out for Ethereum, I'm going to wait a while. It's doing really, really good, and I might want to change some of it, but we just broke these moving averages, these key moving averages, and it's had a steady rise versus Ethereum over time. Back above those moving averages, things are moving back up. It really looks good to me on the weekly chart to continue to hold well versus Ethereum. So I'm in no rush to dump my BNB. I like getting, and you can see some of these values on these indicators down here really just began to move up. Now let's take a look at it versus Bitcoin as well. I wanted to show you kind of how it's performing. It's also setting new all-time highs versus Bitcoin. This is something to really watch. Moving averages are coming up. I would say we can expect prices to stay up here for some time. Since we just broke the all-time highs, of course, it's always going to be really volatile. But that is the reason why I got into the Binance US referral program, so that I could build up my BNB without having to do anything, besides also purchase some occasionally and watch the value go up. BNB has always been one of my favorite coins, especially as far as exchanges go, and it's one that's going to be around for a very, very long time. And as far as Binance US goes, I've experienced very little downtime with them. I believe there was only one moment this year where I experienced downtime. It might have had a little bit more, but that was when Bitcoin broke its $20,000 all-time high from 2017. We'll come back and we'll look at the TA a little bit more here on Bitcoin and Ethereum versus the dollar, but I'm done talking about Binance. It's pretty cool. I'm really happy with the results from it. You can see $900 off of just 19 people doing trades occasionally. So it's a really nice program. I like it a lot better than Coinbase's, because you have much more potential. And if you're curious and you want to see all the differences, please go back to my video. You can search my account. I do a video comparing Coinbase and Binance US and why I much prefer Binance US. But anyways, we're going to talk about NBA TopShot. This is probably the biggest thing going in crypto right now, maybe besides from BNB. This is a collectible platform, and I'll show you in just a moment, that has its own blockchain that is creating NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We've talked about that before when we talked about Light Night on this channel. Excuse me. But it uses NFTs to assign digitally scarce or unique moments from the NBA to users' accounts. And it's hard to explain, so I'm just going to show you. This is my collection here. I have a few items. Let's go ahead and click on one of these so you can kind of get to see what it's about. There you go. He's moving. He's doing a layup, whatever. Anyway, you can see it's serial numbered 2189 out of 2681. Pretty cool. You have this moment. This is yours. Yours is specifically number 2189. Now, this is something that does exist in real sports cards. But what's the difference between this and real sports cards? Obviously, this is digital. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you can just watch this on YouTube. Well, those same people who say that and also collect sports cards have a picture of a person that you can just look at on Google as well. They just happen to have it printed out in their hand. So honestly, it's not that much difference to me. I have collected sports cards, and I honestly think there are pros and cons to both something like a digital NFT and also the physical cards. Now, I do very much prefer the NFT version because you can prove your ownership of it. And if it does act as a truly decentralized platform with the Flow blockchain, you'll be able to do a lot more with the NFT. Now, there are digital trading card applications that are out there, but nothing really like this. This is officially sponsored by the NBA, and it's a crypto collectible. Those are two things that are very highly coveted between two different markets. You have crypto collectors who are very big on NFTs, and then you have sports collectors who are very big on officially licensed collectibles. And in this case, with sports cards, there's only one company who has access to the official license to NBA for their sports cards. Now, say, well, how can they do this if there's only one company that does it? Well, this is slightly different. That's why these are videos or GIFs, whatever their format is. They are like this because they have exclusive access to collectible moment as opposed to the actual photos themselves. So it's something that's slightly different, but it's got all of the same properties other than a physical piece of paper or something that you put it on. And eventually they have actually talked about getting like a digital picture frame and having it set up to where you can just watch your own moments on it. So at that point, would it really be any different? Other than the fact that you could view many of them on one. And there's a whole lot of arguments you can make to try and say that, you know, physical cards and digital cards are better than one or the other, but there are pros and cons to each. And if you're wanting to get into collectibles and crypto collectibles, I really think TopShot is the one. Now, it's experienced a huge boom. The site isn't ready for all the traffic they've had. It's went down a lot. Marketplace doesn't work half the time. Nearly impossible to get a pack when they go up for sale. All that being said, if you are a believer in crypto and crypto collectibles, specifically NFTs, and you also believe that there is a market for sports collectibles, whether or not you do it, this is a very good combination. There are people who just collect NFTs, they don't really care what they are, who are getting into this. There are people who collect sports cards, who don't know a damn thing about crypto, who are getting into this. And then there are people who know about both, like myself, like hopefully a lot of you all, who are also getting into this and making a ton of money doing that, because at this point you are a very early adopter, and I'm going to show you exactly kind of what's going on. So this is evaluate.market. It allows you to get an idea of the value of your moments. Now, to give you an even better idea of how much money you could have made if you were an early adopter, is to realize this is the value of my account if I were to sell everything at the lowest price that people are accepting for it right now. Now, I'm not going to do that, but this has went up dramatically. It would be hard to believe how much I actually put in and purchasing moments or packs for my own money to get to this value. It was something around $100. Absolutely wild. And you think, oh, well, you know, surely you got super lucky. You pulled some really great moment out of a pack, and you know that's why you're doing good. Well, not really. A lot of the value is actually coming from these moments that are marked CC. That means they're in continuous circulation. This means more and more are printed. Even these have some value right now, and they are LEs, which are limited editions, which means their maximum run is going to stop at 12,000. Whereas these CCs, it's at 15,000. It can continue to increase until they decide to stop making more of them. And to get an even better picture of this, I'm going to go back to the first page here, show you one of my more expensive ones. from Series 1 so you can kind of get an idea of how the price has changed over time. So let's take a look at the PJ Washington. This is probably one of the very first moments that I got on the platform. There you go. That's the moment. I clicked on the wrong thing, I think. But yeah, there you go. You get to see the moment. Let's click on this, I believe. Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. Since it's built on the blockchain, of course, all the information is completely public and outward facing. You get an idea of how many are still left in pack. You know, there was a fixed limit on this run of 3,999. And you know exactly how many are in packs and also how many were minted but not in a pack currently. And you know how many are owned right now and how many unique owners there are right now. Personally, I own 2 of this particular moment. So you can tell there's got to be a lot of other people who own at least more than one of these, and more likely 3, 4, or more even in some cases. So that's really cool. But what's really going to get you are these charts that they have. Really awesome things here. This one might not be the absolute best to show you the rise and fall in the value because it's pretty drawn out, but you can see this started back here in January around $30, it looks like. It peaked up around here, 125, and here, just in the last couple days, it's went for over $200. This one is definitely not one of the best ones to show you. The best are probably the Luka Doncic cards, and this also gives you a good idea when you go to their homepage on evaluate.market to see the total sales. $10 million in sales today. And these are total sales from the past. I mean, we look at charts all the time on this channel. You can kind of get an idea on how this actually works. But sales kind of flatlined for a while, and they are going crazy. There's a lot of public figures getting into this and drawing even more attention. I'm a little concerned about that just because the site does struggle at times, and I think a lot of it might actually have to do with their blockchain. And we'll get into their blockchain a little bit more in just a moment, but here's some more info on the volume. You can see the leaderboard of who has the most valuable accounts. And let's see, market movers. I believe this is the one we want to really look at. Shows you the biggest change over the last 24 hours. Here's a moment for Stanley Johnson. I think I actually have 1 or 2 of these. Let's click on it. This particular moment is still a, well, no, I believe it went limited edition at 12,000. It did. And this isn't a particularly desirable moment itself, but what they do with these NFTs is they create these challenges. You know, you have to collect a certain set of these NFTs so that you can get a bonus NFT from that challenge if you hold them all at a certain point in time. Well, this particular NFT is required for a challenge, and let me go, I can actually show you that here. Go to the Cool Cats challenge. You can see I have several of the Cool Cats here, but you got Stanley Johnson here. This is the one we were looking at. He is part of this challenge, and if you are holding all of those moments in 10 days and 4 hours and some time, you will receive the Anthony Davis Cool Cats moment. And these have been pretty valuable. The Luka Doncic from the first Cool Cats challenge is worth over $5,000 today. So it's pretty lucrative right now to get in. And of course, you understand if you watch my channel, markets can go up and down. Right now, it's going up really quick. Of course, nobody knows where the top would be with this. I imagine as they get more packs and more moments out, things kind of settle down. But right now, it's pretty wild. It's pretty fun if you've been able to get in early. And it might still not be too late. But you can see these things have really picked up. Once it was included in the challenge at some point back here, I believe it was marked as limited edition around this point, and there was an uptick in volume. Zoom in. This is marked around a limited edition around here, but then it was added into the Cool Cats challenge, and it's really exploded in value after its inclusion in the Cool Cats challenge. And it might have been actually back a little bit further, around the same time it was made a limited edition. So this is just kind of wild. It's a fun little game. You get to play with crypto and NFT, and if you really believe in those two things, this is by far the best product out there for crypto and NFTs. I did Crypto Kitties for the heck of it. back in 2017 before the market collapsed. It was interesting. I didn't get it because I didn't like cats. I thought cats were kind of dumb. I figured this would be a lot more fun if you could actually collect something meaningful, like, officially licensed sports teams or sports moments, sports pictures, just like sports cards. I figured that would work out better, and it's doing a lot better. I think you can continue to expect this product to grow and continue to do well. I don't see any reason why this won't be huge in the future, and I will explain that to you a little bit more in detail now. Let's go to this article called Introducing the Flow Blockchain. This is what NBA TopShot is built on top of. Now, this is built by the same people who built CryptoKitties, so they have a lot of experience with NFTs, and they learned a lot of lessons from CryptoKitties, and one of those is they needed a blockchain that works a little bit better than Ethereum. If you remember, if you ever did use CryptoKitties and you remember how it worked, you had to pay a network transaction to interact with a smart contract on the network every time you did something. Well, if you have done that very much, you know that the more complicated the function is that you're interacting with on the smart contract, the more expensive the network fee is going to be. And it got to where it was very expensive just to do simple operations during the peak of the bull market in 2017. You got everybody using the network, increasing the network fees, and then everything you did on top of it, you had to pay the network fee on top of whatever built-in fees that they had. So it got really expensive and it was very unfriendly. It is not the same with their new blockchain that they're using right now. You're not actually operating on the blockchain when you're making your interactions here. It's not like you're using a MetaMask wallet or another built-in web wallet here. You're actually using your account. And if you look at the network calls when you go to purchase something or buy, sell, whatever on the marketplace, you will notice that it's calling an API through your Dapper account, which is the company that kind of manages the accounts and the funds and all of that behind the different products, including CryptoKitties. There's an API that is called that is actually working with the blockchain. So it's there's a lot of layers here, and I think that's why they're having some issues with their site. They have to make a lot of moving pieces fit together really well and scale at the same time. And that's one of the things they actually tried to do with the Flow blockchain, is they tried to get things to scale. I think they're having a little trouble scaling right now, which is a little concerning. I don't know if it is their blockchain slowing them down or their ability to work with their API and the blockchain and all these moving parts. I have a feeling it's kind of both, because a lot of times when they go into maintenance and they shut down their marketplace, you will see over the next few minutes or even hours transactions completing that were initiated before, which, if you're familiar with crypto and blockchain, you'll know that this is likely because the network was backed up with too many transactions and it had to kind of catch up. And that's probably why they put it in maintenance mode, so the blockchain could catch up. I'm a little bit worried about their blockchain not being able to handle the kind of volume that they're going to get if it's already like this. But they say that they've built it so that it can scale a lot better. They're saying they're doing some sort of sharding or sidechain or something or another here. Didn't really get too involved with it, but some of their other projects are going to be really huge. You need to keep an eye out for all of the new Dapper projects. You can see they have NBA TopShot. That is what they have right now. They are also working with the UFC, which means you might have some sort of UFC version of TopShot. Also, the NFLPA, that's the NFL Players Association, they might have an officially licensed NFL TopShot version. They're working with Ubisoft. Maybe they will have like video game moments or something. That one, maybe they are just going to be using the NFTs in a video game. These are partners that they have worked with and the brands that they are working with. You can see also Binance and some others. Some pretty big names. And honestly, since they started off with excuse me, I got something in my throat. Since they started off with CryptoKitties, they have a pretty good reputation for their ability to actually work within the blockchain space. I apologize. I don't normally have to drink during my videos, but got something in my throat, and this video is going a little bit longer than I kind of expected. Hopefully, if you've watched it now, you're kind of enjoying things. But let's see. We've already talked about how it works with the marketplace. You buy and sell from other users. Talked about NFTs, scarcity. Yeah, mostly looking at some of these other projects that they've worked with. I think it's going to be very likely that the project is highly successful. I don't see it failing. I think if CryptoKitties can survive the bear market of 2018 and just the silliness of its whole idea, whole concept, I see no reason why NBA TopShot can't thrive. This is officially licensed. This isn't some sort of gimmicky cute kitten. Okay, this is officially licensed with the NBA. It's going to be advertised as such. It's going to be advertised in a big way. It's already being advertised in a big way to a degree compared to some other projects. And even during a bear market, I believe they're going to continue to sell a lot of moments. You're going to be able to collect a lot over a bear market if people are no longer interested. And it kind of depends on how they manage the supply of their moments. Take a look at their packs that they've had. Look at that, all sold out. They have been selling out as quickly as they possibly can. They had a first come, first serve method at selling the packs originally, and they would sell out as quickly as their servers could handle it. Let's put it that way. So they switched to a method that was more of a queue or a line type method recently. This has worked much better towards keeping their site alive and handling things, but they've had to shut down the marketplace at the same time. Again, I believe this is because their blockchain's kind of getting backed up, and it's not really ready for everything they're throwing at it. But the packs have been selling out instantly, and they have been increasing the print run on certain things. So the first Cool Cats challenge, we'll go back to that. Well, I'll go back to the second one here and give you an idea. The specific Cool Cat moments, and you'll see they're identified here just to the right. It says Cool Cats, and these are just regular common team moments. These are the Cool Cat moments. These are limited edition to 10,000 in the second challenge. Well, the moments from the first challenge were limited to 5,000. So they sold nearly twice as many packs for the second challenge. And I guarantee you, they probably could have sold twice more than that. And they would have sold out as quickly as possible. So there's definitely going to be a moment where supply meets demand. They have not done that yet, at least since things started to really blow up in January. It's really quite wild to see demand so high and so very little supply. It reminds you of Bitcoin in a way. Except instead of there being mining rewards, here it would be like new moments and new packs coming out. They're having a hard time getting new packs and new moments out because they're having these issues with the site. So right now, I think it's a compounding effect causing the value of the market to kind of skyrocket right now. You don't have any new moments. You just got challenges that require people to have specific moments. Those moments are really becoming valuable. It's kind of cool. It's a cool little game. And if you think about it, if you want to play it like a market, when the challenge came out, you'd have been like, oh, okay, I need these moments for the particular challenge, and then I can get the reward. And then essentially you get a free moment that you could sell afterward. Now, of course, the value of everything else would probably go down because they're no longer needed for the challenge. But what you could also do, if you're really thinking, is you can buy these moments that other people need. and then sell them later on right before the challenge ends for a higher amount. I'm not saying that'll work every time, but it seems to be working really well for the people who've been doing it on here for some time. Pretty interesting concept with the challenges. I like that they make it into sort of a game, and they are actually going to have a game built to use the NFTs in some way or another. I forget what it's called, but it might be called like Hardcore or something like that. I don't really remember. But pretty cool concept to use the NFTs like this. I really can't wait to see what else they do. I know I've been going on and on about TopShot now for a while. If you have any questions, please reach out to me through a direct message or something. Pretty interesting stuff. I like to talk about these sorts of things. And I know I haven't been responding to a lot of people about work requests and things like that. I'm too busy to work right now. In my free time, I do things like this and have a little bit of fun right now. When things slow down, maybe we'll do some more work. But let's see. Let's take a look at some TA for Bitcoin and Ethereum now. We've spent plenty of time digging into TopShot, BNB, and Binance US. Let's see what we got. Obviously, we're setting new highs today, around $55,000. Crazy. The stochastic advanced. Stochastic weighted advanced. We have a flip upwards here. Usually this is a really good sign that we're going to have some continued momentum moving upward. Our smoothed RSI has just entered the overbought region, and my overbought region is at 75. I still think there's plenty of room to go up on the RSI, which since we're already this high, it's going to have to move up considerably. A lot of people are targeting around 60 to 65,000. It could go higher than that. It just kind of depends. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you a number. I have no idea. Anybody really does. They have targets based on measure moves and things like that, but really hard to predict. MACD, of course, looking really good as well. I don't really use the MACD too much. It's more of like a confirmation tool. But yeah, things look really good to continue here for Bitcoin. I want to take a look at its weekly chart as well. Of course, it's going to be really ugly with the Bollinger Bands. There we go. That's a little bit better. We talked a little bit in our last video about this kind of double dip on the Bollinger Bands. That's definitely something we got to keep our eye out for now and see when this next one wants to kind of stop at. That might be a period where we take a little bit of a break from the skyrocket movement here, and we slow down for a little bit. I have a feeling that things are going to slow down for a few months. We're going to have a pretty stark correction. It's not going to be a cycle killer yet, but it definitely needs to come down for a while. We haven't touched the 20-week since, what was that, October or something like that, and things continue to shoot straight up. It's going to be really hard to time the top of this market if it continues like this. Not that you'll be able to time it right anyway. It'll be even harder because there isn't a really nice pattern carved out yet like there was in 2017, where you could say, oh, look, it came back down to the 21-week EMA, and now it's going to go back up. And it did that 6 or 7 times throughout the year. There is nothing like that yet. We are approaching the end of February, and all we know right now is that it's going up, and it keeps going up. There's not much of a pattern right now, at least on the weekly chart. And what's really crazy, it looks like momentum can continue to go up. We'll see how this week ends, but I mean, everything looks like it could point to it coming back up. When the smooth RSI is staying high, MACD well up above, and there just looks a lot of potential. Way too hard to call the top here. All right. Let's take the Bollinger Bands off the weekly here on Ethereum. Oops, wrong one. Now this is versus the dollar. And one of my favorite things to look at when we're looking at weekly charts are the alignment of the moving averages. I use them as support and resistance at times, but really they are very good for identifying trend. And it looks like we are just now getting to a point to where Ethereum is going to have all of its moving averages aligned. You'll have the mid Bollinger Band, the 50, and this yellow is going to come up above the 100, and that'll be above the red 200. And that's something I've been pointing out for a long time as the signal of a big well, a big signal of a bullish trend. And you can see when we did that here on Bitcoin, let's see, we had it here, but the difference was back here with Bitcoin was that the mid Bollinger Band was moving down. You want all of them aligned together and all of them moving up, and we finally got that back here. When was that? In August of 2020. We finally got that after that period where the bull market ended in 2017. We finally got that alignment back here in August or so. And it's been the signal of a very, very big bullish movement in the market. And I think we could see the exact same here. Now, it looks like these are moving up very sharply, and they kind of are, but you'll remember that the earlier you are into the market cycle with an instrument, the more volatile it is, especially with crypto. Of course, with Bitcoin, you go look at the logarithmic chart for the entire time. It moved up very quick originally, moved a little less quick the next time, a little less quick the next time. And this is really, on this particular chart, the second big wave on it. And you see how steep it looked back then on the logarithmic chart then. It's not even quite that steep right now. So that's something to keep in mind. Things are going up really quick, not even as quick as it did last time. And we're about to be having these moving averages aligned correctly. This really could just be the start. And this might not end until later this year, like the similar 2017 cycle. Go down to the daily chart here on Ethereum and see if we can get a better picture and turn the Bollinger Bands back on the daily. Of course, we're setting new highs. It looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart where we have the momentum flipping up on the stochastic advance, the smooth RSI kind of moving back up, and then we have the MACD looking to flip bullish again. That could be huge in pushing the price upward. For whatever reason, Ethereum is just kind of stalled out in its gains versus the dollar, and it seems like Bitcoin has been moving much quicker than Ethereum versus the dollar. And in fact, let's take a look and compare Ethereum versus Bitcoin, see where we're at. So it has actually been outgaining Bitcoin, but here over the last week or so, not so much. And honestly, you would have thought Ethereum would outgain it very quickly because it seems like it's kind of undervalued and it hasn't moved nearly as much as Bitcoin. And you'll see we get those kind of moving averages potentially aligning up again here on the daily chart on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. And look at this. Look how much room we have to go trading Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We're not even halfway to its all-time highs. So let's do a little bit of math here. Let's try to figure out where an Ethereum all-time high would be if Bitcoin was at $100,000 and Ethereum only tied its all-time high versus Bitcoin. Well, that would put Ethereum at, let's see, let's just say oh no, it'll get up to 0.12 1 week or 1 day there. So 0.12. So that's 12% of a Bitcoin for a single bit of Ethereum. What's 12% of 100,000? $12,000. Ethereum has a lot of way to go. And a lot of people are thinking Bitcoin can break 100 grand. And a lot of people think that Ethereum could break that 12% of the Bitcoin all-time high back here that we're looking at. So how crazy could Ethereum get if it breaks its all-time high versus Bitcoin and Bitcoin smashes 100,000? It could get pretty wild. And I don't think a lot of people understand how valuable Ethereum can be and how valuable some of these other things in the crypto space can be right now. But really, no financial advice here always. But that's going to be it for the video. I went on for a very long time. It's been a while since I got to do one of these videos where I got to talk to everyone about a couple of different things. Mainly, we talked about the Binance US referral program. It's well as how it kind of functions as an exchange. We also dug pretty deep into TopShot, honestly. And then we also did some TA here at the end. So hopefully we'll be back to making a few more videos here. I think this is my second one this week, so that's good. It's nice to be back making a few videos talking about things that I like and not just posting TradingView updates. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully we'll have some more TradingView updates pretty soon. But if you like this video or you like the TradingView updates, do me a favor and like the video. Go down below the video on YouTube, hit the like button. And then while you're down there, since you like the video, go ahead and subscribe. That helps out a whole lot, and you'll get updates when I do new videos. And if I'm talking too long for you today, maybe you'll just open up the next video and decide it's too long and wait for the next one. But I really appreciate all of you who do watch the videos and follow along here. I appreciate it very much. But that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you all have a good one. See you next time.